live streaming down here at the Alamo. The only reason I'm live streaming, I'd followed a person earlier. It'll be on a later video. Uh, he appeared to be intoxicated. He's exposing his genitals to other people. It looked like one of these people was coming up to one of these Alamo Rangers to complain about it, but he walked past them, and I'm like, oh, that dude's obviously intoxicated. Either way, my point is that this Alamo Ranger gloved up and walked off the property towards that person. He just now has taken off his gloves. He keeps looking back over at me, so I'm like, hey, I better live stream this. We're going to flip back to that. We'll go over and talk to him about that. How you doing today? Is that Corporal Stripes? Contreras? Okay. No, I came over to talk to you. I saw you glove up and followed the gentleman over there. Everything's okay? Glove up and follow the gentleman over there. So I'm just asking, everything's okay at this point? Okay. My viewers will ask me later, and I mean, I already know the answer, but why do you guys glove up? Is it because you anticipate physical contact?
Just in case I've been getting contact with somebody that doesn't have financially.
No, and exactly. And it's for your safety. It's not an intimidation thing. It's to prevent biohazards.
Exactly.
Okay, well, again, I mean, that's my viewers will ask that. You've got an SAPD officer coming around on that other side.
Either deal with a lot of homeless, so you never know what they have.
Right, I understand that. So the gentleman who was walking over and approaching you, I watched him down the street. I thought he was approaching you because there's another gentleman over there exposing himself. I mean, literally exposing himself off your property. And I was like, this guy is probably a tourist. He probably thinks these are peace officers. And I was like, oh no, he's intoxicated.
That guy all the time.
So you know who that individual was.
I'm familiar with him.
Okay.
He doesn't come around here too often.
Okay. Well, my name's Troy Reese. I'm down here all the time. I'm an activist.
Oh, okay, cool.
You may
I
or
recognize you. I know I see you down here before.
yeah, I come down here. Sometimes I carry a firearm. It's never with ill intent. I do what I do. But again, when my viewers go, why did that guy glove up and chase down a guy? They think it's for a different reason. And that's why, if I can approach you and we can have a civil conversation, and it's like, hey, these guys have to worry about bloodborne pathogens. I mean, it's just a fact. And actually, at this point, that answered my question. I appreciate it. I'd approached her earlier when I walked up. I just wanted to make sure I was identifying that. See, people approach you guys, they assume you're law enforcement. A lot of tourists do.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, that's fine. But I was explaining, yeah, they have security, your name on the uniforms, your last names. Obviously, you guys are completely legit, no problems with that. You've mainly been professional. I mean, when I say mainly, everyone's going to have issues. I mean, like, nobody likes being filmed. Nobody likes, people who do what I do. A lot of people go, these activists, they film things and they're looking for trouble. And I'm like, no, I film things that are public interest, just like, again, you see me focus on a gentleman walking off my blind side. That's just what we do. And again, we appreciate professional guards. We especially appreciate you being able to explain, like I said, the majority of my viewers, they will never understand that you didn't glove up to go initiate. You're gloving up to protect yourself from, potential biohazards.
Right.
So, okay. Well, I appreciate that, Corporal Contreras. It is Corporal, right? I'm reading the rank right? Okay. Well, you have a good day. I'll see you another day. Another positive interview as far as I'm concerned with Alamo Ranger. Again, these are security guards down here, and I did follow him. Initially, I thought the person who was kind of stumbling towards him was going to complain about a guy who is exposing himself over here at the far end of the property. But then I recognized, I'm like, this guy's intoxicated. And of course, the guard gloved up to confront him. The guard saying he knows who he is. He has problems with homeless down here. And I'm a homeless advocate. I'm like, what I see does not always mean it is what it is. And that's again why I'm like, hey, is there a reason you gloved up? He told me, well, I anticipated, contact. I want to protect myself. Again, a lot of my viewers don't understand that. A lot of people think police do it to intimidate people. They're not. But yeah, if they're gloving up, they are anticipating bodily contact. So I see I've got a couple of viewers in here. Looks like my video is frozen. My damn camera is overheating. I do apologize. I'll go ahead and close this out. Before I do, hopefully, see a couple of guys in here. Foulmouth veteran. Thank you. Hey guys, I know my camera froze up. It's overheated. It had that problem earlier. I was just documenting an encounter and explaining to people why officers glove up. Because a lot of people assume that they're doing it to intimidate. They're not. They're gloving up because they anticipate contact. They're gloving up to protect themselves. Now, you as a citizen need to know that. If you see an officer gloving up, there's a problem. He's gloving up for a reason. Again, back down here on Houston Street, right up here, when I saw Officer Cruz gloved up running to a scene over a radio call she had no idea about, I knew immediately her mindset was wrong. And, so when I say, I see an officer gloved up, I'm going to focus on that officer. This officer was polite. He was professional. Again, they're security guards. They're not police officers, but tourists don't know that. Tourists approach them all the time thinking they're law enforcement. And, yeah, of course, that's part of the Texas thing. So I'm going to check my chats real quick before I close out. I mean, I know my camera's overheated. If any of you guys have any questions about, what I do or whatever, feel free to let me know. I do this. I mean, this is what I've done for almost 2 years now. I do it for a reason, because police abuse authority sometimes. Police abused me. I had to fight the justice system. But the problem is, I was in a position in my life where I did not care. That's sad, but I didn't care. I'm like, you can lock me away for the rest of my life, but I'm not going down without fighting. I'll do this the legal way. But the way that the police treat people a lot of times, it leads to that, there's nothing we can do. They're always going to violate your rights. So I go out and I film things like this all the time. Every day I go out and I film. And people go, don't you have a job, you loser? I do have a job. My job is protecting the rights of my fellow citizens. And a lot of people don't understand that, and they say frauded or whatever. I don't care about that. I really don't. I mean, if people really understood how many days I've spent in jail on bogus charges. I mean, you got this guy up in Dallas-Fort Worth right now. They're trying to screw the taxpayer out of, when I say the taxpayer, that's you and me, out of, $800 to get this guy out on bond. And once they raise that $800, they're going to drop the other charge that they haven't disclosed and say, oh, that's 3.5. We're going to raise it to 4 because of his past history. So now you need to include another $600. This is what the state does. It's a money grabbing game. The bond companies, God bless the bond companies. For those who believe in bail bonds, those who need them, great. I tell people flat out, I will never pay a penny in bond. The state held me for 26 days. I had the $20. I said, fuck you, I'm not paying you a penny. What are you going to do? And they let me out. And a week later, they said, oh, you have to pay this or go back to jail. And I said, I'm walking to jail now with $36 in my pocket. I'll give it to a homeless guy right outside of your jail just so you can't confiscate that money. But again, that's me. When I say I refuse to pay bail, I'm in a position in life where it doesn't matter. But most people are not in that position. Most people can't do what our heroes here at the Alamo did. Most people just cannot do this. These people didn't come down here to intend to die. They came down here to defend what they believed was right. And at one point, they had to make a decision. They were told, it ain't looking good, guys. We ain't getting reinforcements. Jump the wall or stay. And that's why I'm down at the Alamo as often as I am. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going into a rant. Those of you know me. I saw someone gave my real name on chat. I don't hide my real name. I never have. My my old channel was Tori Reese. That is my name. I don't hide that. I will give my phone number in front of cops on my live streams. I don't care if you dox me. I have nothing to hide. I don't encourage other people to do that because there are these trolls out here that, hate people who do what we do. And they bootlick, do whatever else. There's vicious cops out there. I mean, but for me, I'm like, hey, they're going to do what they're going to do. I learned this 2 years ago when I'm doing what I do, and an officer, flat out tells me he works for a different department. He's blinding me. He's pointing a taser at me, and he's saying he's with a different agency. The only reason that I didn't get tased that night or possibly shot was because there was a chain link fence between us, and because I made a vocal argument loud enough to where his other officers came over and he ran away. And SAISD, that's San Antonio Independent School District, Officer 1144, they will release his name, but they'll release his badge. They refuse to release his name. Still, to this date, they won't condemn his actions. They've never followed up with me on that. In fact, they tried to arrest me for get his name. That's pathetic. But again, I don't back down from that. That's me. I will never hold that against any auditor, any cop watcher. Guys, don't take an arrest just to get YouTube views. Because honestly, no YouTube view that you get is ever worth the time that's going to be taken away from you and all the other things. If you're not in it for the right reasons, just don't do it. I mean, when I say that, look, if you believe in what you're doing, back it up 100%. Do what you need to do 100%. I'm out here. I know I have a dead camera. I know my phone is dead. I know you guys can hear me. I'm looking at the live stream. But I also know that, if something bad happened, I don't have it on tape. I'm not worried about that where I'm at now. For other people who do similar things, please always go out with another auditor or 2 auditors or 3 auditors. When you go out in force, the cops recognize that and they know. We can't just delete one guy's film and get away with it. And so you're more protected that way. That's scary, but that is just what it is. This is Blue Lives Matter. I'm going to sign out. My battery's dying. I know my phone overheated. It's still overheating. I'll check in later. If anyone wants to contact me, Foulmouth Veteran, I know he's a public guy out there. He has my contact information. Honestly, I trust him to release my information to anybody who wants to have it. So, and again, that's a plug out to you, Foulmouth. Matthew, I appreciate your comments again. I'm looking at the comments that I see as they come in. My vision's not good, so this is just one of those things that I do. But I want to tell you guys, there are people who go out here and do this every single day. And yeah, the rest get attention. But I do this every day for a reason. I believe in it. I'm blessed in that I was put in a bad situation in life that allows me to do this. And I don't hold my life situation against that. I actually appreciate the fact that my life situation drove me to do this. And again, when I tell people, don't go take these arrests, you aren't proving shit to the cops. They know they're unlawful arrests. They do not care. I'll do it. I don't care. I mean, I really don't. I'm like, you can feed me at a homeless shelter, or you can feed me in a jail, or I'll buy my meal off the street. But for me, I'm not going to be told I can't do something that's legal. I didn't fight for my country to have a bunch of tyrants and politicians and city law officials make policies that are not legal come down and be enforced by tyrants or thugs. And again, there's people who go left, right, whatever. Look, guys, as a citizen, if you do not demand your rights, you lose your rights. So either stand up for them or accept that they do not exist. And you can stand up to them however is comfortable for you. A lot of people out here today, and I'm going to point a plug out to Foulmouth Veteran in Carolina, Fort Worth. I give Carolina, Fort Worth a lot of shit because she's vocal. I'm vocal too sometimes. But go to their channels, plug those. If you have any donations to make, plug those channels. They need that money. They're putting it to a good cause. You will see I never beg for money. I'm not saying anyone who asks for money is doing anything wrong. I'm just saying I don't do that. That's not why I'm out here. If it was, I'd have changed the way I do things a long time ago. And people call me a bootlicker because I'm polite to officers. Well, you know what, guys? We don't make change in individual officers by being dicks to them. We make change by explaining ourselves to them so that they see the light. And you're right, 90% don't care. But that 10%, they do make a difference. And maybe that 10% is the one officer who contacts your family member. So keep that in mind. If you're out here doing activism, do it for the right reason. I'm not going to chastise you for being vocal or cussing at someone. I cannot judge anyone. I've done it plenty of times. I try to be respectful, but at the same time, you know, I am who I am. I'm an old paratrooper. Fuck them. You know, it's like only idiots and bird shit fall from the sky. I'm not bird shit. I'm obviously an idiot. So I do what I do and I take my risks. Do it at your own risk. If you believe in it, do it. If you don't, if you support it, great. If you can contribute funds, I encourage you to go to Foulmouth Veteran. Even if they get Mata out of jail, Foulmouth Veteran has so many people that contact him that those funds will go somewhere needed. Trust me, they will. So again, thank you guys. I'm out of here.